The heirloom yellow pear has been known since the 17th century, and it still remains popular today. In my country, it is among the rare non-red tomatoes to become known, and even a lot of people who only know certain tomato varieties have heard of this one before. It is also the first non-red variety that I have ever seen. It has a very vigorous growth and the plant grows very tall. So not only does it need staking, but it also needs a strong stake, otherwise the stake can break if there are strong winds. One of the disadvantages is that this variety produces a lot of suckers, which grow out of every part, even from the leaves. It very often happens that when you remove a sucker, a new one or even two new ones start to grow next to where you remove the old sucker. I personally recommend that you leave 2 to 3 suckers from the start so that the plant develops like a nice bush. This way you get a very high yield, and in case one of the stems breaks, be it because of the wind, an animal, or a human being comes in, you still have other stems which will grow normally. Otherwise, you have to wait for some time so that the plant produces a strong sucker which then grows into a stem and starts to flower. The seeds of this variety have a high germination rate, and it often happens that plantlets start growing in the garden from the fruit that fell to the ground in the previous season. This variety has huge yields, and it tolerates heat very well. The leaves do however curl a lot compared to other tomato varieties, but this isn't a disease, but a characteristic of this variety. The fruits of this variety are small and pear-shaped, hence the name. They have a mild flavor and are not that juicy as most cherry tomatoes, which is why they can be used in various recipes. Some people consider the flesh to be too dry, but I'm not among them, and most people that tried the fruits of this variety loved it. Because of the bright color and nice shape, it can be used as a decoration. It is among the first tomatoes in my garden to mature, and my favorite way to use the fruits is basically slicing them into halves and putting them on top of a pizza, because it looks great and it tastes great. One of the drawbacks of this variety is that the fruit often crack when it rains, but in my personal experience they crack less often than the fruits of the similar variety red pear. If the weather is rainy, the plants often get attacked by tomato blight. When that happens, you need to remove every part of the plant that is affected and then treat the rest of the plant with a fungicide, which can be organic or chemical. Depends on what you prefer to use. Due to the plant's vigorous growth, it normally quickly recovers. This variety is very suitable for hot climates where it doesn't rain too often. There are a lot of similar varieties out there, and some of them do taste better, but this variety still remains popular and it is among the most productive yellow pear-shaped tomatoes. If this variety wasn't special, people wouldn't have saved its seeds for centuries. Every year I plant a plant or two of this variety in my garden. A very similar variety which I haven't grown yet is the yellow submarine, which has potato leaves. Also quite similar is the relatively unknown variety Chang Li, which is more plum shaped and has a very fruity taste.